Guess it'd be cold now.
Fighting mud.
It was, yeah, or, you know, if it's melting a little bit, it's gonna stick to everything.
Did everybody have a good Thanksgiving?
Excellent, thanks to both of them.
Yeah, and our partially done kitchen.
What's taking so long with that?
Right now the guy's sick,
Oh,
Oh dear.
waiting on the tile guy. We had cabinets and countertops.
okay, kind of concentrated.
Do I have to wait for this to start for you guys to tell me where I can get my open records request fulfilled? Because I feel like that's pretty informal.
Open record request.
You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, you got, you were dealing with Megan, right?
Yeah, she sent me back and said that, first she told me I could go in there and inspect. Then when we showed up, she said, well, Megan wasn't there, or Megan was there, Morgan wasn't. Megan said, oh, you have to do that through the board. Well, you guys sent me to them. They sent me back to you, which is why I'm here today.
We can talk about it in public comment.
Yeah, I guess I've never.
Well, I have an exam, so I'm in nursing school, I have an exam at 11.
You need to finish
So,
that.
All I need to know is who I can get the records from.
I can't answer that because we've never had anybody come and ask for it. So,
Because she told me, come in anytime for inspection. And when we came in, we were told, oh, no.
Let's talk about it in public comment.
yeah,
Is there gonna be time?
Yep,
Okay,
we'll be done early.
okay.
I gotta go to Atlantic. Did you find anything about that stag?
Did you see my email?
Not this morning.
I don't know what that is, but John is in on the email.
Yeah.
So I sent it to John and I was
Okay.
The veteran you needed to talk about.
Yeah.
I missed you that day.
John's
So you,
different.
yeah, I didn't see it this
I'll talk to you after the meeting.
John's
I'll
different
be on
than
it.
still.
Thank you.
Had that arranged.
Where'd you send that email to?
I just responded to yours. Didn't I?
Here it is, Bill and Megan.
I know John's at
You have his
engineer
number?
school today though, so.
Okay.
I don't need around.
Probably won't respond.
This isn't the old, maybe this is the new, yes, maybe this, what's the safety
Safe-
action plan?
Yeah, like the safe streets thing.
Maybe it's part of the meeting we go
I
to.
think it's part of MAPA, it said.
Mappa, yeah. February. Okay. This must be a group within our group.
Did you guys know you were averaging between 500 and 2,000 views on Facebook when I go under my special little view portal
Good.
on your Harrison County
500,
Video.
1,000?
averaging somewhere in between there. I went through last night. I was very surprised to see that many people in Harrison County were interested in the. Hi, Jack. I'll be sending you an email today with that information.
Nice ones too, leather, bushy ones.
I guarantee you, if we're in one of those baby showers or whatever, where, you know, whoever has the most things in there first, I'd win.
Good with that.
Let's make a deal. Wasn't that the show?
Yeah,
That's an old one.
but when this thing I want, I can't find.
last place you look.
Yep. And then I'll find it when I don't need it,
Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
or once you replace it.
It was
Couldn't find my
great.
Kinko, so I
Ate
went
too
and bought
much.
another pair, I'm sure it'll show up.
Through there?
I always have all the holidays because we have all adult kids and we're blended. So whoever comes can, you know, and they all always show up. But our son from Oregon came this year, and so that was super fun. Yeah, yeah. He's been for Thanksgiving a couple of times. It's very fun.
I got 4 glasses of this.
Just a second, I got
Oh, there's mistakes.
Yeah.
What?
There's mistakes.
Well, I just was looking through it, it doesn't look a lot changes from last time. See if there's a
There's still things. I went through it with my highlighter.
What's there?
One of the things there that listed as a weakness is we only have a couple of grocery stores in the community. We have 4 grocery stores in the community. Yeah, that other one's been built. Yeah, no one told us. Clicky communities. One of the weaknesses for the county is clicky communities. I don't think that should be.
It's kind of like, Mean Girls stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're in it, you don't realize it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I guess it, yeah.
At 9 o'clock, probably over.
Move through the agenda.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion. I will get John on the phone. Hi, John. Can everybody hear him all right?
Can you hear me, John?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right.
All right, John, first thing we have is the Raglan Highway Survey.
Yes,
You sent an email with an opinion on that. You want to discuss that
Yeah.
quick?
yes, there's also actually a signed letter that I said later, is that also part of that?
Yes.
Essentially saying the same thing. I did look at the situation. I did actually go and drive that ditch about 2 weeks ago after I got the information on it. So I have looked at it. That ditch does clearly naturally drain to the west. I do know that there's one tube visible on the east end draining to H&P. It is visibly higher than anything else in that ditch. I didn't have survey equipment, but you can tell from the water level that certainly the water doesn't go out that east end until the ditch is nearly full. I did talk to Mason Hanson after that. There is a second tube deeper, but it is fully buried currently, and at least based on the landowner's explanation, that tube essentially silts in immediately after it gets cleaned out. So, yes, the ditch does drain somewhat to the east, but the natural course is to the west. The ditch to the west is deeper. The grades draining that direction all indicate that it wants to go that direction. I wasn't able to find any plats that clearly show that channel historically, but based on all of the contour elevations and the situation that is clearly visible just on the road, the bulk of the benefit is from the ditches to the west, and if they're reclassified, that's where most of that benefit would go. So west is the direction which it should go. That said, I don't think that a full engineering survey is necessary for this one. It's a fairly simple ditch with no inletting pipe that I can see other than just surface drainage through open spots in the soil bank. I think in this case, that's all the channel. The money's better spent on just getting something hired and getting it clean. If the board truly wants to spend a survey, we can do that, but that survey is really to control costs, and it's more effective on much larger cleanouts than this one.
All right. So we want a motion to forego the survey and just do the clean out?
Yeah. I'll make a motion to
Okay,
forego the survey and just do
clean it out. Second.
Any further discussion?
One of the things that John said in his letter, and I checked with Luke out at NRCS, was about the publicly available LiDAR data. This is something we could have looked up. So,
I don't know if LiDAR goes everywhere though.
it doesn't go down in the, necessarily go
ditches,
down
yeah.
in the ditches, but it gives you a lot better.
Yeah, it works very well on the ground level, field level, roads, things like that. It can only give you indications inside the channel. Vegetation in the channel interferes too much. You can only really get indications in the channel.
Okay.
All right. We got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, John, basically I want to hear this too. While you're on the phone, John, let's talk about the old soldier DOT call. You and I have been in contact with Keith Tucker, the attorney on this. We did find where this board approved it in 2023. June of 2023, we approved that project.
For July, yeah.
So now, with that being found, the attorney's recommendation is we dismiss this lawsuit without prejudice. And what that will allow us to do is if we determine that that is actually holding water back, we can go back and get them to lower it.
Yeah, because it's still there.
Yeah, but right now the injunction, the temporary injunction is working its way through the court system. But it's the attorney's recommendation to dismiss without prejudice. Is that kind of what you understand too, John?
Yes. Yeah, we looked at that. I was still questioning whether that approval actually gave authorization to build a culvert at the elevation they did. It was simply, they had permission to build in the right of way, but it is vague enough that I don't disagree with Keith on this, that it's gonna be a hard battle to win because there is approval for it, so I do agree with him. It sounds like talking with some of the, and I haven't talked to a lot of there, but I have heard people talk about water being backed up, and Mason, you even mentioned that to me as well. So I think that it'll be something we can show fairly easily, just asking people what they've seen.
Right, we can prove damage. I mean, Mason called me this summer and said that he had damage, and it was that culvert holding it back.
Yeah.
Backed up on,
More water than he's ever had.
really.
Because it's too high. It's not low enough.
Yeah.
It's actually draining water.
Yeah.
But for right now, the recommendation is to dismiss the current injunction without prejudice. Then we can get more data and decide what we should
Yeah, we
do.
can document it. Okay. You gonna document that, John, then? You go forward?
Yes, I haven't done anything to truly document that yet. But I can, like I said, I've already spoken with Mason a little bit. I can get a little bit more information from him. Just on the base of it, if we don't lower the elevation of that channel at that location, we've already cut the cross-sectional area under that bridge by, what, 40%, 50%. So that alone is already, the calculations are gonna show that we're backing up water. So the calculations to support it would be simple. We just need to show how far that extends.
Will it be hard to get past the DOT? Coming back to, they're hard to get past.
Yep. They're like-
Really hard to get past.
I didn't hear that whole question.
I just, the DOT is hard to, changing this after the fact is, and I don't have a solution, I'm just observing that wherever they put these box culverts in, there's, that's the way things are once they're in there.
So basically, John, as we go forward, we're simply gonna document what happens, we have better, more information when we go forward.
Yes, we have to have a value of damage under Idaho code. As I said, the calculations are going to show that it's backing the water just because the cross-sectional area is smaller. That part's not really a question. It's just we need to put the dollar value on that because the code, and this would be a question more for Keith, but the code does talk about if you knowingly create a restriction in a ditch and cause damage, that you're liable for double damages. And if you do it again, you're liable for triple damages. So the code does address this. We just have to at this point tell you what those damages are.
And that's moving forward with the new way. If we were to put the injunction in, my understanding is it's a court of equity, not a court of code.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should keep us up informed on every bit of damage.
So then do we need to make a motion to
Dismiss charges.
dismiss charges?
With
Dismiss
prejudice.
without prejudice.
Without,
Make a motion to dismiss without prejudice the injunction of the
old soldier culvert?
Old Soldier Code.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, thanks, John.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Mr.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. B&W Control Specialist, Rick Shear and I met with Nate last week, that old soldier. They ran into a lot of beaver damage. By the time he talked to his guys, they were chopping trees and they were over, like $6,000.
So we got approved, when they came in here, what was in April, for $10,000 for the old soldier. They went over by $6,367.10. The, in our minutes, it's not to exceed that 10,000, so we need approval to get that other $6,367.10 approved. And we do have the funds in that account that comes out of the old, the Soldier Valley account. We have currently, and the goal is to have these accounts at 0 or above. And we currently have $251,796. So we have plenty of money, and that's after,
When was that number?
yesterday. That's after I pulled both accounts, combined them, and that's where the outstanding warrants pulled.
Paid quite a bit out of Soldier Valley recently.
Yeah, it
so-
says 300,000 was pulled, outstanding, and that's how much is after that.
Cause we did one yesterday too for like 162,000.
That's up with us 700,000. But I can pull it again today, that's up with us 100. But as of yesterday, it said we had 300 with outstanding warrants, and then this is without that.
Nate
So-
actually drove that district before he met with Rick and I. We were gonna drive it all together.
Yeah, I
It
pulled
started
it over at
raining that
9 a.m.
morning.
yesterday, so we did after that.
So Rick and I came in here and Nate got here early when we drove it and came back and gave us a report. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done there.
So we just need to do the 6,000 some in addition to the 10 we already approved.
Yep, the 10 of the
It's already approved.
16.3, 10 of that is already promised to that. That was already approved back in April, is the 6,367
7 and 10
and
cents.
10 cents, yeah.
And the biggest problem is we got behind here and cooked. A lot of that brush control stopped, so we knew there was gonna be
Gotcha.
And honestly, it's probably gonna be either now or
next
come
year.
next spring.
Yes.
That is gonna be done.
So, I'm not saying we shouldn't approve it, but why again wasn't it approved before it was actually, the work was done? We gotta stop paying bills where the work's done and then they get approval.
Like I was saying, we approved 10,000. They were here working, the guys were here. Nate wasn't on scene. When they called Nate and said everything they were doing, he figured up the hours and said, you guys have to stop right now, you're over. So he stopped it as soon as he got alerted to the amount of work they were doing.
So now do we have to come back, we'll have to approve more later if they continue?
Next year, they'll have
Yes.
to come back and
Okay.
start.
Yes.
After the rest of
They're
okay.
done, this is where they're stopping for this district.
And this is coming out of the old soldier.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So the farmers will,
In all the other districts, I've matched up, they have not gone over anywhere else, this was the only and
And Rick had some other districts that he wants to look at next year as well, to add to what they're going to stay on top of.
And like I said, I'm not against paying
Yep.
the 6,000 because there's money in their account. But as a supervisor or whatever he is, they must own the business or whatever, you let your guys get I mean, you need to keep a closer tab on your,
Yeah.
really, what you
Rick,
want.
he-
not arguing
He's
that.
aware.
That's why I brought it to the board, cause I said I cannot get this just thrown, I wasn't just gonna make a claim, that's why I said I'm bringing this to the board, cause that's obviously not acceptable just to
Right.
say oopsie, and so
Yeah.
that's why I'm bringing it to you guys to present it.
And because there's money in the account,
Yeah.
we need to be able to tell these people, because at some point, $6,000, that's a lot of money.
It is.
And if we keep doing that,
I
we did the steps, you know, and
I don't think it's an recurring thing. I think this was a slip up. It made me nervous when I saw it. I don't think it's a recurring thing, but it was a big slip up. So that's why I told Megan, say I need to present this to the board. She said, oh, absolutely.
And I don't want us to have to go into a policy, making a policy that says, you know, X amount of dollars over what you bid. You know, you're done. We're not paying it.
I think in this particular case, we're gonna up the bid anyway, because we're gonna do more work anyway.
Right.
We still haven't paid for this one right now.
I agree. I think we should pay it because there's
No,
money
I
in
get
it.
your point too.
Yeah.
I completely
But
get
if
your
I
point.
was a landowner in that drainage district and there wasn't money in the drainage account and I got assessed an extra drainage fee because somebody went over, I wouldn't be very happy. So,
I'll move to approve the 636710, right?
In addition to-
6,367.10.
For the old soldier ditch brush control.
Yep.
second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I think this is yours too.
Yeah.
The guy.
So, a few weeks ago, I tried to bring that resolution and Pop County didn't approve it. Well, they, last week, or the week before, it would have been the week before this, Thanksgiving. They ended up presenting a letter to get their drainage districts, to go under the county's UEI number, the unique entity identifier number, just so, for FEMA purposes, they could go under that number for, financial reasons. This letter got approved by Pot County, it's the same wording as them, so it's just Harrison County's information slapped on it. It's just for the H&P district. They're going through 2019 and 2024 flood FEMA issues right now. They're kind of fighting with FEMA, trying to get
So this will help them get their
funds.
FEMA dollars.
Yes, and it's gonna be pretty much impossible without this letter. And
They're
they're
quite a
trying
ways under too.
tons. Yeah,
That's-
FEMA's
that's
trying
a
to
large-
withhold
it's a very
millions
large
from them right now.
55,000 acres, I believe, so.
Yeah, and they have overlapping areas too where, and it's a mess. So without this letter, they're gonna miss out on millions of dollars. So we're just gonna need this, signed by you guys just so they can use the UEI number for FEMA purposes only to get a shot at even getting this money. This is just a step at trying to get the county money for that district. And I just need the chairman's signature if it gets approved.
Make a motion to approve the, using the county UEI number for FEMA purposes for the H&P drainage district.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
We have the actual copy.
Yep. Next we have resolution.
That's the one up north here, right?
Yep. This is to vacate, so it's not a reclassification.
And we already did it, we just, you had to change it. Did you get that
Yes.
email? It's just a matter of changing the date of the public hearing. We approved this
I
once.
think he wants it set for
18th, he said.
18 Ds?
I'll read it. Whereas a request has been filed with the Harrison County Engineer asking that action be taken to vacate a section of Harrison County secondary road described as follows in the original road petition. Interior Avenue commencing at the quarter post on the north side of section 2-81-44, then south 28.79 chains, then south 50 degrees, east 5.10 chains, Cattleway, then south 21.5 degrees, east 9.62 chains to intersection of the northwest southeast section 2-81-44, 490 feet east of the northwest corner of said 40. Thence east 12.87 chains, then south 20 feet east of the line 6.06 chains to intersect with Little Subin Preparation Road, terminating at a point on the north right-of-way county road known as Ireland Place within 0.785 miles to be vacated. Now therefore let it be resolved that a hearing on the proposed vacation will be held in the boardroom of the Harrison County Courthouse, 111 North 2nd Avenue, Logan, Iowa, at 9 a.m. on Thursday, December 18th, in accordance with Iowa Chapter 306. Everybody know exactly where that is now?
On the plat book, it doesn't look like it. How long's the chain? I don't either.
The
The
question
big ones, but I
depends on how many links are in it.
That's right, how many links, what size of links are? I'll move to approve to set the public hearing for Interior Avenue Road vacate.
Second.
Any further discussion? Two resolutions, we'll do roll call. Tony?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
Tony, yes. We got this all for the subjects. Yes, it needs to. That's what it is.
One chain is 66 feet,
How many?
66 feet per chain. That's interesting. Chain.
Mostly right.
Next on the agenda, we have approval of pay application number 8 for courthouse entrance project. Megan and I met with Peter Greggs last week, family contractor. There was a few small changes, but Pete said go ahead and
Is that the last one?
this is it.
That was, is what's left over retainage?
Yes.
Yeah.
And most of the stuff that was left was adjustments on the door. Make sure they don't open too hard or easy enough. And I believe the button on the handicap door
Doesn't
had an issue.
We got the little stuff in between the text and all that?
This
Doors?
side, that side, they're still working on, but
Okay.
Pete's comfortable with where we're at.
Okay. I'll move to approve the pay application number 8, final one, the courthouse interest project, in the amount of $1,296.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Tina up next. Todd.
Is the dog gonna bring that in, or you?
No. It's like, so this will be for, it'll actually only be through October of this year. Because.
We're gonna do those monthly now, right?
Yeah, all we have to do is sign off that they did,
Just like you look at,
just like your sheet.
all right?
Sign it.
I think I probably have to.
Sure. So the total available funds for our K-9 currently are 1,600, and that's a ski number, because actually we're going down right now. So $1,600.70. So Brandon has already done it, and that's through October. Whoever's on.
That's mostly for dog food stuff, isn't it?
Dog food, medical, kenneling, equipment.
Can I look at it? Just real quick?
Look at.
Not just look at it, huh?
So this isn't really. It's fine. So this
Okay.
matches, as long as we match. So this goes all the way back from day one when I started. Back to it, you can see this is what we started with. Training equipment, so a lot of this, I actually got funding through grants. I got over $8,000 from grants to get stuff started with it, and then I received some other grants and stuff too, so it's all, so this is an additional 10,000.
That's okay.
Yeah, so we had another 10,000 for the other dog. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is what we spent there, this is what we spent on the dog, and then there's some equipment. The hotel, which is actually Arizona, so.
We got that opioid money, didn't we, to pay for all that?
Yep. Yeah, and then I had a grant through Harrison County Endowment, and then I got another one for K-9 fund, but I got some others in boxes and stuff. That's what it is.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank
Yep,
you.
I'll bring the next one.
You don't have to.
No.
You decided?
Thank you.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah, I'll do that, public comment just about it.
Now we have Sheriff's Department bank reconciliation. That one's.
How's the new job?
Great.
Can I pay yours? Still like that. See how it's going? Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Steve.
Sarah, you're in the hot seat now.
So Shirley is willing to go full-time in the office. She's willing to work 30 hours and up. We would start in January. I can't necessarily say that her collection amount would go up because the tasks that would be given to her would be more mailings for victim notifications, closing files, warrant searches. It would be more managerial, but it would certainly lighten the load for Ally and I. And now that she has the availability, I would ask the board to consider it.
You have money in your budget to cover this? You know?
I was asked that by Megan, whether or not that we would need an amendment, and I'm gonna crunch the numbers, and let her know by Friday. If we needed an amendment, it wouldn't be a lot. We did go over on some of our line items, our trial.
Yes, I have some big bills on
We
those.
did, so it would be really close.
How many hours has she been working now, average?
I would say that she's been working an average of 20 hours.
So
Could be 40.
could be,
It could be 40, I think that she would aim more for the 30 amount
Okay.
unless we were really busy.
So you're kind of shooting for 60 hours per week.
Yes.
For 2 weeks, okay.
but then that would mean, if she goes full-time, then she would get benefits. So it's
She
not
would be a
just-
candidate for benefits, she would not take the health insurance, but she would receive the stipend, she would receive vacation time, she would receive the personal time, so, yeah, there would be benefits that would accrue.
How long has she been working? She's been there for a while, hasn't she?
You know what's really
She
interesting?
came over, right?
What's interesting was the way that it was set up when Ms. Monk was the county attorney, because she was running her private practice in addition to the county work. So surely it's been there a significant amount of time, but she wasn't receiving the IPERS and she
Right.
wasn't receiving the county benefits because a lot of it was cycling through the private practice of your previous county attorney. So she has substantial time, it's just not really
Doesn't count.
indicated on county paperwork, which is unfortunate.
When you became county attorney, when you were in Missouri Valley, you actually had, did you have 3 people at that time?
I did not have 3 people at that time. Ashley did when I moved into the Missouri Valley. I didn't have private practice with me. So Morgan, who's now at the auditor's office, was working with Ashley. She moved to the auditor's office, and Allison was sure moved to the auditor.
So our other option is to hire another staff. It sounds to me like your workload is increasing, and I think we've seen that.
Oh, yeah.
I did run the numbers, I had Wendy run the numbers for us yesterday, and it looks like the numbers aren't necessarily going up on the case log, but the felony levels are going up, so we're up about 18% on felonies
Really?
from 2024 to 2025.
Good job.
So those are the cases that are taking a bit more time from me, and more time intensive, so it would certainly be helpful to have a person be in the office and be able to handle the phone calls, be able to handle the mailings, and allow Allison and I to focus a bit more on the work.
Is there a chance that you could get us the numbers? I will work with Megan on if we were to make her full-time and she got 30 hours versus 40 hours, like the 2 figures on it, and then so we could know how much approximately you would go over on your budget if we were to make her full-time, because it's not just the wages, it's papers and all that.
The difficulty that I have is that I can't predict the caseload, Rebecca, so 1 month is gonna be a lighter month, and I'm not going to need her to fill in for the 40 hours, so it really flexes with the amount of arrests.
Right, but could you do a 30-hour scenario and a 40-hour scenario? Typically, you're probably not gonna need her for 40 hours, but could you get us those scenarios so we know what the dollar amount is that you possibly could go over on your budget?
So
Or
what does she make per hour?
She makes $23 an hour.
So that's another $460 every 2 weeks, plus the 166 a month. So it's 500,
Plus like a NIPERS.
Are we already paying like an IPERS on part-time? What benefits is this open up?
The only thing you're gonna see different is the difference in, so she's working,
Since we have till January, I'm not against making her full-time. I just want to see the numbers. Can we just see the numbers next week? and so that we have a dollar figure in front of us.
But if she's not taking the insurance, what benefits open up that she doesn't currently?
Does she get IPERS part-time?
She already has that,
She
yeah.
already has it.
There's no option, they have to.
Are we paying FICA?
I
So
will
it's a-
say that Mills County is staffed with 3 attorneys. We'll say that Manila County is staffed with 2, Crawford County is staffed with 2. And right now, Harrison is really writing with 1 attorney. It would be really helpful to have a person be able to assist.
Yes, I'm not against it at all, I just wanna see them, I'd like to see the numbers, I'm a numbers person.
So it'd be, if she went fully to 40 hours per week, the difference with including FICA and IPERS is another $526 per week.
How much
That's
a week?
including FICA.
That includes FICA. 526.
2,000 a month.
So, yeah, and that's if she's working 40 hours consistently.
Okay. For 24,000 a year.
But if she's only working 30, then you're,
It's a lot less than that, yeah.
yeah.
It'll be $1,000.
She's committed to 30 hours. I think
Okay.
that that's really the target that she is willing to do. I mean, it was a lot of conversations with Shirley to be willing to take on additional hours.
Yep.
It'd be an extra $1,000 a month.
And so, is there
Probably
somewhere,
be about 1,500.
Yeah. For the year.
so if, let's just call it on the high side, 25,000
Okay.
a year with all the benefits and everything. In your budget, how's that? Is there somewhere you can pull it from?
Well, it would be dependent on the number of trials that in it. It would be dependent on the amount of overtime that I need with Allison. I mean, right now, honestly, you folks have a part-time county attorney and I'm working overtime.
What, Shirley pays for herself. So what does that license reinstatement program bring in annually? roughly?
Gosh, I'm not sure. Those would be numbers that I could crunch.
She was way over, like,
So
2 months in, she paid for the year.
How much Shirley's brought in? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
That's fine, if you guys are okay with,
I'm okay with it, just because I think we're being a lot more aggressive than we have in the past.
Oh, we're sending, they're gonna have to buy a van.
I know.
They're taking people to prison 3 at a time.
I know. Which is what we wanted,
Yes. We're getting the drugs off the street, the repeat offenders are gone.
and that will cost some money. And just not, outside of that, we've had some trials in the past that just blew the budget all to pieces, so.
It's not great results out of that.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with that. I don't.
yeah, the only, I mean, she's been a great employee for the county.
Long
The
time.
only question I have is, do we have, what? Oh, yeah.
Quick, I'm out.
Okay. Okay.
Do we have other county employees that are only working 30 hours that are part-time, considered part-time?
No, we cannot. By law, that's a federal law. 30 hours gets you benefits.
Okay, all right. I'm okay with
But
that.
my understanding is the benefits aren't really going up. She's not gonna take any more benefits than what she's currently.
She's eligible to though.
She's
Yeah.
eligible.
She's just possibly gonna take a step.
I think she's going to take all of the benefits instead of the health insurance, right?
Which is what she's already getting.
Well, she doesn't get the vacation time right now, she
Okay.
doesn't get the personal time, she doesn't get the stipend for not taking her health insurance. So there would
So the
certainly be
vacation is the
benefits
one.
that would open up to her.
The vacation would be prorated though. That's how it, for other 30-hour employees. it works.
I guess I support this because I kind of like what law enforcement's been doing. And you're key to that. You're the gatekeeper. They can do all the work, and if you decide not to do anything, that's their work for us.
All right. We'll make a motion to make Shirley full-time.
Up to 30, whatever, yeah, say full-time, but
It's up
she
to
wants,
Sarah then.
it's up to you, yeah. I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, sir.
We'll have discussion on union negotiations.
So I reached out to Jeff. He's taking place of Ann, which so we've used in the past. The union doesn't necessarily want to come and negotiate, it doesn't sound like. They kind of want you to give them a number and then they come back to you. he cannot be here next week at the time that you requested. If you guys want to just chat, the two of you, during that time, we can give them a number. It's, you guys just need to decide whether or not you're,
Just step up for a second. Not because of this, but I don't need to be here for this thing.
Well, yeah, Megan can't be part of it either, so.
so, well, that's also to you guys
Yeah.
to decide.
Because
Legally,
Yeah.
I can, but you two have to determine whether you're comfortable with it or not.
are you?
I don't have an issue of us sitting down and coming up with a number to start.
So
I
you
would still
want,
like to have them in for the negotiations,
you want them to be
unless
present?
they accept our first offer, which never happens.
Because I would like to wait until we start into the budget. I mean, how can we make them an offer if we haven't even gone over, even started the budget? So I guess I don't want to do it next week.
You wanna wait
I want to wait.
So just hold off.
Yeah.
Okay,
sometime in February, maybe we could have our mind wrapped around the budget?
okay. All right, I will let Jeff know.
Okay.
Because that would end up tying us into, if we come to an agreement. then.
Yep, that works for me.
All right, so, we need to.
Can you grab, is Tony still out there? Close? No. Okay. Matt? Yeah. We're ready for you. Public hearing is open. Okay. Anybody have comments on the comprehensive land use plan?
I have a few comments. I didn't see anything regarding the TCE contamination site in the comprehensive plan and land uses for that area. Can you tell me if there was something in there that I missed?
Does this pertain to that, or is that more of a zoning?
Well, this is gonna be used for
Yeah.
zoning, correct?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I guess my answer to that is we had public meetings. The public had the opportunity to put input. If that's not something that the public wanted in, this isn't our plan. This is your guys' plan.
That's why I'm
That's
making
why we
this
have-
comment. That's why I'm making this comment
Okay.
about the TCE.
So my question
Because the
to you-
county needs to be able to apply for grant money for that TCE remediation and the people that live out there. And that is why I'm asking if the county can put something in this documentation regarding the TCE contamination, and the land use and the zoning for that area.
My question to you is, the meeting you attended, did you bring it up?
I did not know about the TCE at that time.
Yeah, and then I would say the same thing. When I was going to these meetings, I was unaware of the whole TCE thing. And so I guess, I think we need to consider putting something about it in here.
Well, this is kind of a really upper level idea what we want to do in the county. And I don't think there's any problem putting that in.
Right.
I mean, it's gonna be more important to put it in the planning and zoning, really.
Thank you, Tony.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah.
Rebecca.
I don't have any problem putting something in there. If you want to look at that, you're on the committee, so.
Well, the problem is that the committee, I believe it's planning and zoning, sent this forward to them. They approved this, and then we didn't. But I also, there's several other things in it that I went through last night, and some of them are just typos, but the serious thing that does need to be changed is that they put that about the sheriff's department. It's totally inaccurate now. I spoke with Brandon about it yesterday just to verify, and it says that the sheriff's office also provides law enforcement services by contract to the cities of Little Sioux, Logan, and then it says partial, it should be taken out, and then down below it says the cities of Dunlap, Logan, Missouri Valley, and Woodbine each maintain their own law enforcement, so that needs to be changed. Logan needs to be taken out of there because they don't maintain, and that's something that I think is
There's
important.
typos in it. I agree.
That's not necessarily a typo, but the rest of them are typos, but that does need to be changed. I was a little surprised when I spoke to one of the members of the committee that Oh, and then it says Montgomery County housed 9,994 chickens. I'm like, it should be Harrison County, so this, but I was also surprised at how much money we spent on this, that the members of this committee didn't even get a hard copy. They got an email to them, which I get it, they could print it off themselves, but when you look at this and how much color there is in this, most citizens, I mean, do you want to print it off on your home printer? They're not gonna want, and so, we spent, how much did we spend? Did we spend
About
almost
20,000?
25,000 on this? I
Only
think,
because it's kind of required, I mean.
right,
yeah.
but I think that they could, for 25,000, they could have given each of the members of our committee an actual hard copy to go over, because it's really hard to go over it on your computer, and so it wasn't, I went over it on the computer before, because I was on that committee, and I found a few things, but it wasn't until I was going over it, you know, actually a hard copy that I found these things. And I know we're required to do it, but.
So, my question, like the typos, that's an easy thing.
Right.
The TCE, can we approve this and then do amendments with public hearing to add?
It says in here that you can.
Yeah, the board of supervisors, you have the authority to amend it.
Because one of my concerns is, we had a moratorium on wind and solar. We're probably ready to expire on it if we haven't already.
It's gonna expire in January.
January, February.
So if we were to accept this to kind of cover that, and then we could do amendments.
Amendment on that and anything else that you find here. The TC especially.
That way we cover ourselves on that.
And this is a living document, I would think.
There is provision in here on how we can amend it. We can amend it because things change. But it is, you do have to have a public hearing.
That's okay.
Yeah. I just wanna commit to, if we are gonna approve this pending, this, because, you know, there's that one, there's several, they call Little Lake Nature Center, Little Creek Nature Center.
Yeah.
We do need to make sure those are changed before we approve it.
So pending typographic issues, for sure.
Any other public input?
Typographic.
So when do you plan on making the provisions for the TCE in this living document?
Well, we gotta make a change in January for the wind.
So January?
I would say that's what we need to do
Possibly,
all at
unless
once.
we re-up the moratorium. If we
At that time, we
re-up the
could, you know, I would think that would be part of this too, we update that based on the moratoriums.
What I would recommend with the TCE is make sure we know what we're putting in.
And that might not be a bad idea because we are having a TCE, Board of Health is having a TCE
Okay.
meeting in January.
Is there some guidance on that from somewhere, the TCE?
So the Army Corps has significant information because they monitor the situation for the Department of War. The Iowa DNR monitors the situation to assist Mr. Pitt, who is the environmental officer. The Iowa DNR relies on his judgment regarding wells. And he is also not just the environmental officer, he is also the planning and zoning administrator. So between him and David Shearer, who is also the health officer, I would guess they would be able to come up with a plan moving forward on how the county wants to proceed with the TCE.
Right, and that's what the meeting in January is about. And that might end up being a meeting where we have to, should all be there possibly. The Board of Health is having a meeting and they're having a gentleman from the Army Corps of Engineers
Okay.
is actually gonna come in and he wants the DNR guy to come
Okay,
too.
that'd be perfect.
Scott Sawyer and Matt Grace, is that who's coming from the Iowa DNR? Okay.
Well, I don't know if Matt is,
Or the other,
Scott Sawyer is.
Scott Sawyer is for sure, okay.
Scott Sawyer, see the Corps of Engineer guy? Or the-
Yeah, he's awesome. He's been very helpful. He's been
So I
great.
would say that meeting needs to take place before we put anything in here
Yes,
anyway.
I agree.
And what date is that meeting set for, Rebecca?
I believe it's January 14th.
January 14th? And where will that meeting be at?
We haven't set it. Typically, we have our Board of Health meetings at the Board of Health office, but that's a little bitty conference room. So we've got to get together, have a pre-meeting to decide.
And will other departments that the TCE affects be able to be there, like, will planning and zoning be able to be there?
Well, Matt will be there anyway, as far as I know. Matt, you're planning on being there, right?
I understand, but your planning and zoning board, when I met with them 2 weeks ago, had not seen an updated map regarding the TCE. I don't know if they were aware how much it had grown outside of the Atlas D missile base site.
Does that come from the Corps of Engineers, that map? Okay.
Yeah.
It will be an open meeting.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
It will be a meeting, the Board of Health meeting. It is an open meeting, and anyone is free to come. I mean, it's an open meeting.
They're at a
So
bigger place.
yeah, that's what we got to talk about. If we're actually going to have it there.
I think that's a good plan.
Anything else with the comprehensive plan for the public?
Move to close public hearing.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion
Okay, so
Good, good stuff.
carries. We want to table this for now, is that what I'm feeling?
I'd like to see it with the corrections.
Okay.
Okay, just take it.
All right, before we get in any further, I've been missing these the last several
Oh,
weeks.
yeah.
We have minutes, 2 meetings on November 14th. One to approve the warrant for US Bank, and then we had, what was the other? Were you called in?
You got the November 20th minutes there too.
Yep, I've got 18th and the 20th.
I wasn't here the 20th.
The 18th was the canvas for the election.
I'll move to approve the 18th. Was the easy.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Aye, opposed, motion carries.
Now, this one, we had 2 meetings.
Yeah, you didn't
I
call in
wasn't
for the
at
first
that
one.
one. Yeah, I called in for
It
the
was just
second.
Tony and I did the US Bank.
That's right.
It was a 37-second meeting,
Okay, so
What day was that on?
the 14th.
14th. You want to do these?
Yeah, I'll move to approve the minutes from November 14th.
I'll second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And there was the one where you called in on the 14th.
Yeah.
That was the second.
Oh, was it 2 there? Okay. Move, that's right. Move to approve the second set of minutes from November 14th.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And we had our regular meeting on the 20th.
Okay. Make a motion to approve the minutes from November 20th.
I'll second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carries. You guys have any updates?
We got Cisco today. We got that map coming up too.
I had the Board of Health, basically what I just told you about that. And then, I went to the West Hills Alliance meeting yesterday. It was a really good meeting, and I realized it says February 20, on the list, that Megan gave us, people's positions that were coming open for the director for the West Hills Alliance, right now it's Deb Nelson, and it says February. She's terms through February. Well, they said that's because that's when they have their first meeting. So technically, that position is open January 2nd.
Should need somebody for that.
So, and she's gonna apply, but
Okay.
they made all the other positions open, so
Mhm.
we need to make sure people know about that one. There's actually she's up for reappointment, and there's actually a vacancy for an alternate. We've had a vacancy for an alternate.
Can we put that information up on the website? What we have open?
I only gave the positions that Rebecca gave me,
Yeah,
so.
I didn't give her
Okay.
that one, because it
Okay.
said February, so we need to make sure people know
Okay.
if they're interested in the Les Hills Alliance. There is a vacancy for alternate, and then Deb's position will be.
What's their, I mean, they used to have a lot of money with it, it's a different focus now, isn't it? Used to buy a lot of properties.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore. That came up yesterday because Deb asked about funding and stuff like that. So it was a really good meeting.
Okay.
And, you know, I voted no on giving them the $2,000. I've changed my thought on that. And
That's okay.
I'm willing to admit that, you know, you learn stuff as you go. And yesterday, they were talking about, they gave Monona County $1,750 towards a project. And the project cost all of that, but that's pretty good return on your investment.
That's pretty much what they're supposed to, yeah.
Yeah,
Their original focus, I think. is supposed to-
Different things within the Les Hills. They're for preserving the Les Hills. And at one point, Renee said that they gave Magnolia $10,000. Magnolia had a water problem at one point, and they had to redo some stuff, and they gave them $10,000. So I would say that we get our $2,000 back. That was a good meeting. Deb didn't even know she was still on it until I called her.
I'm glad she wants to stay on.
Yeah, well, she's gonna reapply. I told her she has to reapply, just like everybody else.
Okay, you go to public comment.
One thing, the ICIT folks contacted me this week, the report is ready.
Okay.
So we'll be doing another meeting to go over the final, and then after that, you guys can start your discussion on how you want to proceed, so.
Okay.
Did you say the server was down again? Okay.
The board will now allow up to 30 minutes for comments from the public. The board will call speakers in the order in which they have signed up on the form provided. Each speaker is limited to no more than 3 minutes for speaking unless first state his or her name for the record. Comments should be directed to the board as a whole and should refrain from personal attacks from addressing individual employees or citizens. Comments should also be limited to one topic. Detailed information about the public comment policy is available upon request. First, we have Lori White.
Can I give you guys a copy of the open records request that I sent on October? There's 3 of them, just pass them around. So this was the open records request I requested back in October regarding the eligibility of Sarah Delonte in her role based on her residence at the time prior to the election and then after. So this information it is public information. I submitted the Chapter 22 request. It came to this board. Brian, you sent it to the county auditor, who then told me I could come in for an inspection at any time. Inspection is free of charge. And then my husband came in last week and they said, oh, no, you need to go back to the board of supervisors. So all I'm trying to do is confirm eligibility, because this is actually, if I've not done my research, because I've done research, and as far as I can tell, she was and currently is a resident of Crawford County. If that is true, I want you guys to understand that she is statutorily required in the state of Iowa to be a resident of Harrison County. And if she's not, then election misconduct, perjury, false information, misconduct in office. And if this board was aware of that prior to her election, which I've been told that you were, you will find yourselves potentially in some hot water as well. I do want to let you know too that this does expose Harrison County significantly, because defendants can come back and file motions to vacate their convictions based on the fact that she's not legally eligible to serve in the county. So what I want to know today is who I can get this information from. There should have been a certificate of eligibility of residence.
You have a resume.
I don't want a resume. I want all the information that was submitted.
Right, so our understanding is she is a resident of Harrison County. She does have a Harrison County address on the record, but the public cannot get law enforcement addresses. That can all be redacted for safety reasons.
Okay, so
So
what
to
you're...
give you an address, we can't do that because...
I want the certificate of eligibility. You should be able to provide that. And if you're telling me you can't, you can give it to me redacted, but I can go to the state and the state can do the investigation. But are you telling me that you guys were aware that she was a Harrison County
Yes.
resident
Yes.
prior to election and
Yes.
currently is.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what everyone here believes.
Yes.
Rebecca,
I understood she lived in Dunlap.
done that? Okay.
I talked to her landlord up there, and he said that she resides there, so.
So I need the information so I can conduct research. So who do I go to?
I'm not sure where to go.
I don't either.
Well, you filed a records request with the board.
I did.
Never did you request a certificate of eligibility.
I did. Would you like a copy?
I don't know what that is.
It's the open records request that was
No,
forwarded.
I don't know what a certificate of eligibility is.
Yeah, what is that?
Can you provide me with a?
Yeah, I
with
can send you a copy of what it should be because
Be
every,
eligible to run.
you're out, yes,
That's a nomination paper and then a petition.
you have to
You want
prove
the
that
nomination
you
paper?
are a resident
It says.
So you're
on
talking
there.
about an affidavit?
It's an
of
affidavit,
candidacy?
Sure.
yes.
Okay, then that's a
and you
different
have
thing.
that.
From
Whatever
what
you
ran this
have to
year, yes.
provide,
But you
that
don't have to provide that when you're appointed.
you do.
When you're appointed.
No,
You
when you
have
run.
to
When
be.
you run.
When you run,
That's what
you
I'm
have to
asking you.
file
You
it with the
asked for
state.
You asked for the paperwork from August 12th. We would not have
No,
one
I
from
did
then.
not. No, I did not. I asked for the agenda packets from August 12th. I asked for all application materials submitted, including application, resume, cover letter, related correspondence, any documents, communication, or verification used to confirm her residence of eligibility. Nowhere in there is a date.
You asked for the stuff from August 12th.
I have this, no, I just read to you, point 3, which is an email I sent to the board that was sent to you.
So we can provide
Okay,
her.
yeah,
with-
I have all of that.
Yeah, we can-
Okay,
When
then
your
why?
husband came in last week, he wasn't clear with my staff and I was not in the office. There was
Okay.
a lot of miscommunication. And rather than reaching out to me like my staff told you to, you went straight to the board. So
That's
there
what I was told to
miscommunication.
do, and that's fine. All I wanna do is investigate the information, that's it.
It's all
So I
available.
can come
Yes, it's in
to
my
your,
office.
okay, perfect. I can't do it today, I have a test at 11, but I just wanna make that, so you have everything that was in that records request.
Everything that is available, yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Next we have Marilyn J. Benson.
I just want to make comment regarding what Lori asked for. I was contacted over Thanksgiving by 4 different individuals who apparently have concerns about the legitimacy of the county attorney's residency in her candidacy. So I did look up the Federal Election Commission law. There is a code for fraudulent misrepresentation doctrine. The act also requires that misrepresentation of identity be fraudulent, as the commission observed in MUR 3690A. A violation of section 30124 requires fraudulent misrepresentation. Key elements of fraud are the maker's intent that the misrepresentation be relied on by the person and in the manner reasonably contemplated, that the person's ignorance of falsity of the representation and the person's rightful or justful reliance. More significantly, a fraudulent misrepresentation requires intent to deceive. I am going to ask that you please respect Ms. White's right to view the public record, because the county taxpayers cannot afford another lawsuit in this county. And if I don't understand why this is such a complex thing to share with the public. This didn't have to get to this point. If she lives in Dunlap, just show the record. It's putting all 3 of you at risk, like she said. It's unfortunately putting the auditor at risk. It's probably tarnishing the name of Sarah. So it is my recommendation to the Board of Supervisors to expedite getting these documents to Ms. White so everyone can move forward with this. Thank you.
And just to speak on that before you make a decision. Before I filled a vacancy, before I ran for the position, I under oath gave my word that I live in Harrison County. I am a Harrison County resident. If you want to talk about safety concerns, my concern with giving Ms. White an unredacted form that contains my personal address is that it subjects me to retaliation from the numerous cases that I've prosecuted here in Harrison.
that is, I guess, something you'll have to deal with the state on, because it sounds like, based on the people that reached out to me over the course of the holiday, Sarah, they have already started reaching out to the state. So there's got to be some way for you to give these people peace of mind. Like she said, this could be a really complex situation for the county, which I'm sure you're aware of. So let's just figure out a solution to the problem, and a good one, sooner than later, so that, like I said, you can move forward, you're a busy woman, and everyone else here at the board can also move forward, because this is a serious charge.
There's no allegations against me, Ms. Minzer.
Okay.
I took a Hippocratic oath to be earnest with you, to share my private information with the public and allow them access to myself and my 10-year-old is something that
Sarah,
I can't do.
I was a single mom for a long time, and that is not a card that I would publicly pull at this point. I would just make sure that we move
Yeah, it's
forward.
out there, yeah. Yep.
All right, next we have Michelle Stearns.
My comment is just what I heard earlier regarding, I think it's an overage that you're paying for items that come after the fact. And so I guess I just want to say, what do you want to do about it? Instead of just saying every time it comes to you that we need to stop doing it, what do you want to do so you can stop it? So I don't know if you can put a policy in place, or something on the website, so everybody knows when they want to do something that they have to make sure that it's approved before they come back and say, we need this kind of money. So I guess that was my comment, is I hear you say, Rebecca, that, we just need to stop doing this. Okay, well, yes, I agree, stop doing it, but how can you be proactive to stop doing it? So that was my comment. I don't know if it's something you put on the website, or if you actually have to put something, because I assume there's a lot of people that, I'm not sure how you get everybody that might come to that with a bill or an invoice or whatever. That's my comment. Thank you.
I agree. I mean, can't we do a policy so that we're covered in the future?
Technically, they provide a bid to us, and they have to work within that bid. In this particular case, some very over-enthusiastic hourly workers continued their work. What he should have probably done, he stopped it. Very good, he stopped it. I guess I didn't have a problem with it, because he's either we're going to pay it this year, or we're going to pay it next year when the bids come in again. And I know that the people who petitioned from that district want it done, so I wasn't super worried about it. I guess I tried to use a little common sense.
So can I just ask, when you respond to a bid, is there something that gets sent back to them that can maybe have a statement in there that, you can't, this is the amount and you can't go over, or if you go over, or something like that?
So most of our bids, typically our bids are on county roads. Secondary roads is our biggest, and those are held to the number. I would say it's a case by case, like Tony said, this year, it's either this year or next year. Next year is going to be more because those streets are going to get bigger, so it's going to be more work. So it's definitely a case by case.
Didn't you have something earlier about the door, that one came on as
There was some change orders.
So again, it's maybe not just roads, or it might be other things, and people just aren't maybe aware that that's the way it's always been, but going forward, that's not the way it can always be.
They should have came in with a change order, as you're very familiar with.
And that's why I say, we either have to stop doing it, but the way to stop doing it, even in this gentleman's case, like I said earlier, I'm not against paying, but is if you have a policy that says, if you go over the bid by, make it, let's say, just $2,500 is the max you can go over. If you go over more than, or, 1,000, whatever you want to make that, if you go over, we will not pay it. And that's on them to.
Right, and we usually don't pay them, because it says right in your bids not to exceed.
Right.
In this particular case, try to use common sense. We're going to have to do it again next year.
Right, I know.
Still have to pay for it.
I know with this case,
And down here in the concrete, we should have submitted a change order ahead of time.
but we paid
says
it
not to
anyway.
exceed. Well, after you look at it, it needs to be done, and they were there.
Right, but at some point, you have to stop doing that.
It's not a habit we make. doing. I mean, I can't think of half a dozen times we ever did that. In fact, I can't even think of, other than these 2 times that we ever did that. So most people, most contractors do follow the law, they do it right. There's been times we have not paid contractors who went over.
And on that concrete, there was also a change order to cut some out, so.
Yes. Once, you know, I understand the money thing just like I do with my own money. I also understand, and contractors understand they should not do that, but then we also have to apply common sense. That's all I try to do.
I think that's everything. That was all in public comment.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you all.
Thank you,
No
Tony.
consequence next time. I spoke with your landlord, so I'm very happy. All right, I have to go to Atlantic.
Wow, already today?
Yeah, for the. Who's that?